This is a good example of executing one of those, plays I mentioned too about zone entries. So, and the shots, the valuable shots, what to take, what not to take. So this is one of those examples where I'd rather you guys not take the like. It's just not really a great scoring area, and our goal, the goalies we face, especially on the better teams, they're not like Swiss cheese that anything will just go in. Um, this is like, sure, we could have got a rebound off it, so it's not like the most horrible shot. But you guys have an advantage. Probably at the end of your shift, so I understand that you're tired, but you do have an advantage. All three of their guys are back, right? They're all back here. You guys have numbers, okay? It looks like there's two of them, but that's just the camera glitching. Okay, this is a perfect time to execute that punch turn, right? I don't know if Austin's calling for it. I don't remember. Um, but here, okay, Jackie, you're good. You're driving the net. This is fine because it's two. They're two of you. Where the empty space is all over here, right? So how do you get into that? How do you get the puck into that empty space? Austin's either got to call for it, or the puck carrier has to just be aware of like the scoring area is not really. This is not really the best scoring area, right? So big goalie too. Really doubtful that you guys are going to get a goal on a big, especially on a bigger goalie by just shooting it on him, right? Got to get him going side to side, make him work for it, get in front of his eyes, something. So this is that perfect area, like in that other clip where Marco does that punch turn. You could execute this punch turn, this little quick hook turn, whatever you want to call it, button hook turn, at any point in the rush and along any part of the ice, in the offensive zone. So Marco ended up doing it kind of like in that area. If this could be done, this is like the half wall area. Could be done here too, right? So when you go here, in this case, we have one forward here, one forward here, two forwards here, the puck, and then two of their defensemen. These two guys, their forwards, back checking, are not even in the zone yet, right? All of a sudden, Jaden, you do a little button hook. Austin comes in with speed. This guy's back checking, so it's not like it's going to be a breeze, right? It's not like it's going to be the easiest play, but he's back checking. Austin maybe skates in with the puck. One guy ends up going to the net with his defender. All of a sudden, there's a screen. Maybe Jaden, after passing it, you end up kind of sliding into this area, right? So all of a sudden, at the very least, we have a shot in, again, this little sweet spot area, right? The slot. All of a sudden, excuse me. All of a sudden, we have a shot in the slot versus out here, right? Better scoring opportunity having that shot in the slot. So you guys just have to be mindful that the goalies are a lot better than when you guys grew up and when you were 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. This area, much better, especially off the rush or when we're working in the zone. This is beautiful. This area is perfect. When we're out here, like along this area and here, when we take shots from here, it's not really the best scoring opportunity. If we want to get a rebound and there's not really much there, sure. But for the most part, this is just, you're hoping for a very good rebound. When we just want to throw shots on net and we just want to create chaos, sure. But in a tight game like this against good teams, that's not going to work a lot of the time. We got to take our scoring chances and, put ourselves in better better opportunities, better scoring areas. Here is not really the best. Okay, you want to either be in that pink area or somewhere along here. You're square with the goalie. You're most likely going to have a screener in front or one or two. This is much better than shooting it from this area, right? You're about 3 feet off from where the face-off circle is. Face-off dot, sorry. Right? You're also tired too, I would imagine. Like, it's just not really the best shot to take. So again, I'm gonna try to give you guys options in another separate video that will, you know, hopefully make this a little bit more simplified when you're talking about zone entries, odd man rushes, but we'll just say zone entries and what to do. So this is just a quick example. It's not us making the play, but just want to show you guys just like when you do make that pass across. I know everyone wants to shoot it, everyone wants to score, but you make that pass across, whether it's directly across in the slot or it's from a weird angle and going towards the slot. When you get the goalie moving from side to side, all of a sudden it creates an opportunity. So they don't score here. But all of a sudden, like, could this defenseman have taken a shot? Yeah, it could have. It's in a pretty decent chance. It's in that that area that I mentioned. So obviously, this in the slot is one area, and then there's this outer area that it's fine to take a shot from. Right? It's like along where the face-off circle is, or sorry, face-off dot. Right? And then here's the area we don't really love. Okay. So yes, he could have taken a shot there. All of a sudden, passes it across, right? If that guy gets it, if that guy shoots it up high, that's potentially a goal on us, right? Okay, so Shep makes a save and we're okay. But all of a sudden, this is a much harder save for Shep to make here, right? Versus coming across. It's a lot harder. Just getting the goalie potentially out of position, making him feel uncomfortable. I'm telling you, every goalie would prefer this shot versus they don't know where to set up or to be. If it's here, what's the guy going to do with it? Is he going to pass it back? What if he passed it back? Then we're at a position that's a goal. So you just create this. So you create confusion, obviously, to the goalie, but you create a better. Number one, you create a better scoring chance. Number two, you create a little bit of confusion, and number three, the goalie is thinking like, oh, this might be an easy shot. All of a sudden, now they have to, well, okay, what's happening next? And what's the next thing that's happening? Are they going to take a shot? They're going to pass it back versus just that quick shot. It's a little bit easier to save. So you go ahead and watch it. This goes from an okay scoring chance to much better. So this is I thought was a good play. Obviously that didn't go our way, but this is really good play and there's a lot of stuff to work off of from this. And so we get in, right? Great. Good play by Austin. Heads up play. Right? The Beast are very aggressive. You'll see just in this clip. They'll send 2, maybe 3 guys at the puck. They're hoping that you make mistakes and that you guys fumble the puck. So it's a good play. Get into the corner. Good puck. Good body control by Jack. Protect the puck. Okay, Jaden, you take it. This is a good movement. I like this. Okay. Again, they're sending 2 guys. This guy's in no man's land over here. And they want to send 2 guys. Okay. Defensemen, this is good positioning. I like this. So now imagine if this goes our way. So you'll even reverse just a little bit. So here. Okay. Heads up play by Zep. See, there's 2 guys here. This is a harder. He's got to make this pass like this second, right? He can't hesitate a millisecond longer, or else this is going to get intercepted. So here's not really the best option. Okay, this is the best option. Send it back down. Okay, so he sends it back down. Defense play. Now look what we could do from here. So In this case, the defender was right on you, okay, forces you to make a play. This kind of goes back even to the PK when obviously on 5-on-5 you could be a little bit more aggressive. However, you just want to be in their face, right? So Jaden gets that puck. Let's just say, for example, he gets that puck and he has it on his stick in control. This is a quick pass, one timer, potential goal, right? Goalie just probably adjust. Hopefully, he doesn't adjust too quick, but this is like there's. Hopefully, you guys can see that there's opportunity and there's times where you guys can make something out of nothing, really. So this is good plays. When you are working off the rush, it's not just a cycle, right? That's why we always say the slot is a very this is in a very high scoring zone, just this area alone. So just here, if that's controlled pass, this is potentially a goal, right? Um, so this is not really anyone's fault, obviously, but this is actually a really good play, I thought, at least, and a good sequence that um, shows you guys potential opportunities, right? So this guy here, look, he's not even close to Austin. So this could be a quick pass. Obviously, if this defender's not here and this whole area is wide open, then you take that space and you take a shot. But there's a lot of variations, and I'll go over it and the examples a little bit more in a separate video. But yeah, I thought was a good sequence and good play. Obviously, it didn't go our way, but really good movement and good spacing, good decision making. So watch this over and over just to hope drill it in your guys' heads that slot is wide open. If you don't have it, take space. Look for the pass, head up, and off in the zone, head up, take that extra second, look for your guy. If not, take the space in front of you. So this is another good another good opportunity. This is all very good. This is no one's fault. This is not like something. This is not a bad clip. This is a very good clip. I just hope this shows you guys how much opportunity there is in that slot area, and how we could be taking advantage of it. There's a lot more goals to be had. So here, obviously, this is at the end of the shift for you two, for Austin and Jaden. So you guys are gassed, I could imagine. But look here. So again, it's just a fumble of the puck. It's just unlucky, right? This is not like anyone's fault. But look, Jaden, you have the puck. If that's on your stick, right, and you have a little bit more control, again, it's not no one's fault. It's just a fumble of the puck. It is what it is. Sometimes you get unlucky in this game. But look, you have they're all collapsed. Like no team plays perfect defense, right? You can only do your best to be in those right spots. But like, look, there's four guys looking at you. This guy's not even looking at Marco. He has no idea. So imagine if Jaden has control of the puck here. Look, you got an easy pass here, quick shot. Maybe Jaden sees or if he's a lefty, this is an easier pass. But right here, right? Because he has it on his forehand, it's a little bit of an easier pass. But look at it. Look, like, whether it's coming from the corner, on the half wall, breaking in through the zone, whatever it is, there's gonna always be people looking at the puck and opportunities to make that pass. So again, head up, look for your guys. Always, always, always head up and look, because if they're on you like this, someone's open, right? That's why I always implore you guys, just quick head up. Okay. So this is actually a good look. You're gonna take your space. This is right idea. You're gonna get the puck from the corner, right? In this case, it's in the corner, and you take your space. Fumble the puck a little bit. It is what it is. But as soon as you start taking your space, people start coming towards you, and all eyes are on you, whoever it is. In this case, it's Shaden. But what that means is, obviously, if all eyes are on you, someone's going to be open or getting into a good spot. That's what we call, quote unquote, the quiet ice, which is no one's really looking at you, right? And then this area, guys, is super, super important. So whether that's puck in the corner, puck on the half wall, right? If you when you take the space into towards this area, towards that area, guys. This is the goal. It's the gold. You take the puck into that area, or sorry, when you take your space, most of the time, the probably in somewhere in this area, there's going to be one of our guys just waiting for a pass. Okay, someone's going to be there. So if you try to take the space, if you have it, but when in this clip, for example, right, when you got multiple guys and you have actual possession of the puck, quick dish, it's probably a goal. More likely than not, it's a goal. If not, then you have a really good scoring opportunity from basically here and here. When you get into that zone, you probably have a good scoring opportunity as well if the slot's not open and they're covering it really well. So if they leave you in this general area, these are really good shots. Okay, because we probably have some screening, or our defensemen are wide open for a lot of traffic in front. So guys, this is a really good example. Zone entry. It's not perfect, but there's some good things to take away, some good adjustments. But also, this is a really heads up play by everyone on the ice. So, especially puck carrier, which in this case it's Marco. So we end up going through. Okay, if they were being really aggressive here, this is the right play to make, because not all the time you're going to be traveling through the neutral zone with tons of speed. Everyone's kind of like flat-footed here. There was a turnover, right? So good play by Marco. If they wanted to be really aggressive, they would not be giving you all this space. He would have taken that space right away when he had it. But they're basically giving you the blue line. Look how far back. I think that's Coelho. Look how far back he is, right? They're not really pressuring you. So this is fine. Good heads up play by Marco. You get the zone now. Okay. So now it's about possession. See, and obviously dumping it in, guys. That's a tool. It's not the only tool in the toolbox, but it's a tool to dump it in. This is a good play to not dump in. So there's always options. There's always 2 or 3 options that you could do pretty much at any given moment on the ice. Okay, so but what we can correct here is pretty much whoever is in the middle. That's a good rule of thumb. Doesn't always have to be the guy in the middle, but if you got your speed, someone's got to book it to the net. So we'll just say the guy in the middle, book it to the net. Because what's going to happen here is you're going to draw. This is good defensive coverage, but it's possible that you draw, as you're going here, you draw him and him to you. So as Marco's skating in, you're booking it, you're beelining it right to the net. Okay. Then as that's happening, what could happen is this space is most likely going to be wide open. And I'm going to try to give you guys a couple examples that hopefully are very clear, real life examples of the stuff that I'm talking about. But I want to try to keep it as simple as possible. So this is not a bad play at all. But we tend to, what ends up happening is everyone's looking at the puck carrier and no one's really creating any sort of depth, meaning you're not, basically the depth, what happens is you create space on the ice where they're not defending because you guys are creating that movement. If you guys are flat-footed or not trying to move and on this same plane, like you guys are all basically on this same plane here, not one guy's not here, and here, then all of a sudden they're thinking, okay, where the hell is everyone, right? But they all see, like, you're not creating a lot of decision making on their part, so it's really easy to defend when you have it like this. But if you're driving the lane, all of a sudden this defender's going, okay, what do I got to do with this guy? What do I do? maybe he stays a little bit more parked here and then this leaves the slot wide open, right? Okay. This is called a punch turn, what Marco just does here. Okay. Which is great off the rush. And when you're doing the zone entry, and it can really be performed along many parts along this board. Marco does it in the corner, but it could be performed on the half wall. Could be kind of performed up top here because you maybe have a guy trailing who's late into the zone. It all depends, right? It's all very situational. Again, I'm going to try to give you guys really simple examples uh, aside from this film, but it's a great play. What ends up happening, defense are wide open, okay, because they're playing really low. They're playing great defense, but what ends up happening is defense are wide open, okay? We got good, like that's a good play. This is a solid play. We do this consistently. We do that on a consistent basis. We'll create more opportunities, which will lead to more goals. But this is like fine. This is very good. Good heads up play. Great decision making. You guys got traffic in front. You guys are screening the goalie. Like this is it's not always gonna go in, but this is you do that consistently enough, it will go in. The puck will go in the net. So good play. Obviously, maybe so. Two takeaways from this play alone, as when your zone entry is someone's got to be driving the net, someone's got to sneak into the slot, and obviously, defenseman. If we can try to keep that point shot a little bit lower, easier to tip, harder to see for the goalie because everyone's bodies are in the way, right? But that's a great play, all in all. So guys, this sequence here at the beginning of the game, obviously this wasn't one of our best games. I could take you could pick apart this game, but that's not my intention because it was just one of those days. It was a bad game. It is what it is. However, um, one common thing throughout all of their games is communication with each other, with your guys on the ice. So the guys who have the puck and maybe they can't take a look. So communication, and then obviously when you do have time, and when you need to get into the habit of doing is just taking that extra second to look up and when you have the puck, because this sequence at the beginning of the game is sure it doesn't make a difference. Maybe it wouldn't have made a difference at all in this game, but it will make a difference as the games wind down and if we get into the playoffs. These little differences, these little details matter. So something like this, like for example, Max, you got to be communicating maybe with Zep because he thinks the guy's on him. Maybe tell him, go around the net, go around the net. You got time. Or, just something, anything that gives him the ability to, have an extra set of eyes. So obviously we get lucky and that this doesn't turn into a goal. Um, but even here, okay, so Jack, maybe you got to get your head up just to see what's going on around, see the guy coming instead of having the head down. But also, you guys, you trailers, Austin and Jaden in this case, just drop or boards, something that signals to Jack, hey, you got three guys around you. We're coming in with speed. There's got to be some sort of communication. Hopefully, maybe there was, and it just wasn't the best play. It is what it is. But I think just to just communicate as much as you guys can would be helpful. Again, good example of forechecking and what to do when you are that guy. After being F1, how you transition to being F3 and backfilling as in like taking up space that's potentially open and being defensively responsible. Um, so look, Khalil gets in there. He's F1 right now. He's battling whoever number 9 is, one of the bigger defensemen. Um, so he gets, doesn't win it. That's fine. We got two guys here supporting and two guys high. What happens though? Khalil books it back. Okay. This is a really, really good forecheck. We just get again a little bit unlucky this game. Um, so Marco, you do a really good job. Our defenseman's not really in the picture, but if that puck gets squeaked to the boards, defenseman pushes up, and we're okay. But you guys are really good. He's got him. He's pressuring the puck. Our defenseman is off of this guy, but really that's his responsibility. And then all of a sudden, Khalil. So like, imagine if Khalil stayed here, right, and he was still down low. All of a sudden, this is a really easy pass to make across. However, Khalil gets in the way, or he's at least showing presence there. It would be better if he's a little bit further back, sure. So when you guys are beelining it back and trying to get back into the play, you got to go fast, right? Because things happen very quickly. But again, Marco does a good job of pressuring him. Unlucky poke check. It is what it is. But you guys do a really good job of supporting on the forecheck. Right? Marco tries for a poke. Xavier comes at him. And it's a turnover. So that's a good way to, stop their offense and their breakout by just being in the right position and making a play. Right? You guys didn't just let him skate. You guys attacked him, forced him to make a turnover. Good defensive positioning. Everyone comes back, and here we go. We start again. Okay? So two things happen with this D zone coverage. First thing, everyone's got a guy. Good, right? We got Maddie with his Zapiri with his guy. Max is pressuring the guy in the corner, and Nate has his guy. There's a good defensive zone coverage. Excuse me. Okay. It's fine. And did you notice, guys? Look, we got one. You got eyes. You got eyes. This is great. This is fine. To take a shot, we need our goalie to make a save, or one of you three got to block it, right? But that's fine. They get a lucky bounce off one of the pieces of the glass and ends up going right to their guy's stick. But look, even though that does, Nate, good job. You're on your man right here. That's fine. He's still got him. He's aware of what he's doing, and he's got him. Okay, and we got our wingers up top. That was good. Quick look. Again, Lexi, head up. Make your play. Okay. And we're off. So it's a really good heads up play. All three of you guys involved, two defensemen and the centerman. Really good job, Nate. Okay. Again, now, so see how, look, this is a lot different. I understand the puck's in a different area, but this, see how the other clip, you guys are all down low, right? Now, not being down low. When I was talking about forechecking, okay, you're on him as the F1. This guy's in position, filling up the middle, and Maddie's obviously trying to back check as best as he can. They end up going along the wall, right? Because they think it's open. So puck gets rimmed. Defenseman winger gets it. Sorry, not the defenseman. Tries to go up the wall. All of a sudden, you're there, Nate. Good forecheck, and he turns it over. Perfect. So there's a clear, distinct difference of what to do and what not to do. And it's just about doing what you need to do on a more consistent basis. Mistakes will happen, obviously, but that's what separates, obviously, the really, 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 really good teams. They're just more consistent. That's all it is. So we just got to be consistent. Always thinking about like defense first for the most part. Obviously, we have to protect our zone. Not even for the most part. Always think about our zone first, and it comes out from there. We start from the net and work our way out towards their net. That's all you guys. That's the mindset you guys got to be in. So guys, we're gonna be a little more aggressive. Like we tend to be more aggressive, our defensemen. So I think it's important to note. Again, not the reason why we lost the game, chalked this game up, but there's some takeaways, obviously. And this one, you guys got to look at this basically as, let's see, so pucks, pucks over here, right? Okay, they're skating up with the puck, going towards our net over here. Okay, as they're skating up with the puck, if we have, so our defenseman got caught pinching, so he's skating back. This defender In this case, I believe, yeah, Ryan. He ends up going and skating towards him. Okay, when you see that happening as a back checker, we have two back checkers here. One of you guys got to fill in if that happens. Okay, fill into the center. So what ends up happening is as soon as Ryan gets on him, right, the puck slides across to their forward, and there's no one there because we're all basically here. So you have two options. Starts with the defender being a little less aggressive in this particular scenario, but a little less aggressive, but in this particular scenario, it looked like there was a lot of space between the puck and their forward. There was quite a decent amount of gap, probably a little bit more actually. By the time the puck out here, you kind of like here, our forwards were chasing. So he made a play, he tried to make a play, wasn't there in time. But if you see the defender forwards, these two guys, you got to be able to notice that, see he's going, and then fill in for him in the middle. So we could avoid it. We could avoid a goal like this, right? No one's there, and we're all caught. So we can't have that. So forward, you just got to recognize when you are back checking and there's one defender, you're on your back check, you have to fly to the middle. If you see that the defender is trying to go for the puck carrier, you got to fill in. That's what's backfill. It's like filling in for your defender, filling in for the spot that your other player has vacated. So can't have this. Just plain and simple. Can't have what is it? Yeah, all three of you guys. 1, 2, and 3. Below this red line. All below here. That's just basically asking for 3-on-2, right? Can't have that. So if I go back a couple seconds, okay, if we're gonna do, we can do an aggressive forecheck. That's fine. But this whoever's far side, so right, so the puck is going away from where you are, right? As soon as you see that puck passed, you got to beeline it here. You got to beeline to be high. Then at least we have numbers. We have 2 defensemen and 1 forward playing against 3 forwards, right? Then we could hem them in. You got to come here, right? Or you're in that space, right? Makes their pass harder, makes their breakout pass harder. And then as this guy's peeling back, so right now, right, like as all this play is happening, whoever's the far side guy, you have more than enough time to peel off, right? So just never get trapped down low, guys. We can't have this. So on the PK, guys, you got to make sure you guys have more active sticks, right? So we got caught a little bit out of position. Puck comes around here. So 2 things need to happen. We need to have more active sticks, and you're the weak side. So that means weak side means, so pucks over here, pucks on this side. This is the weak side winger. Okay, if the puck's on this side, he's the weak side winger. Okay, so what ends up happening here, we get so spread out, and then all of a sudden this guy's wide open, right? So obviously we don't want that. So this defender, maybe you don't go right to him, but you have to apply pressure in some way. So block as much surface area as you can, block as much area as you can, wave your stick around. this winger, you guys are having active sticks. You gotta be in at least in the general area. If you're right on them, you're right on them. Maybe they make a pass to the point, but at least you guys are there and are in front of the shooting lane to block it. So active sticks and the weak side winger, most people will set up, most power plays will have a bump or someone's in the middle. So this is way too spread out, right? Marco, you got to be a little bit more tight because if they do make that pass, you're already in a position where you could block it or get your stick in there or even intercept the pass or tip the pass. Like this being on it, it's on the 5-on-5, sure, you want to be on your man, but 4-on-4, right? You got to be a little bit tighter. He's got to be on him or closer to him. Then this pass doesn't seem so easy. And Max, you got to, or whoever the defender is, you got to be a little more aggressive, right? With your spacing, number one. So the amount of distance you have between you two. And then number two is just like your stick. It's got to be a little more active. Everyone's got to have more active sticks. And obviously we end up getting it, but this has got to be a dump in, right? You guys are tired. You guys just spent roughly 45 seconds in the zone. Okay, it's got to be a dump. You guys got to make these again. It's all the details, small details. These add up.